This is a story about a simple delivery to a family dollar store gone horribly wrong. For this story, pretend this is a Freightliner Cascadia from Werner Enterprises, and this is a family dollar truck that's 48 feet, 49 feet, or 53 feet. I have no idea how long the trailer is because they never told me when giving me the trailer its exact length. Would be nice if they did though, because knowing how long the trailer is very important when trying to back up with it. Even the difference of 1 foot changes drastically how the trailer turns in reverse. Anyway, also pretend these wires aren't and pretend these antennas aren't here either because I did not have DirecTV. Apparently you have to be with the company for 2 years to get that. And you have to drive for 1,000,000 miles without an accident. Anyway, it was really dark out early in the morning. The sun hadn't come up yet. I don't have the best night vision at night. I mean, I don't have the best night vision, and I keep telling them this, but for some reason they keep sending me to places where I had to be there before the sun rose. Anyway, I see the Family Dollar sign in the distance, and I see this entrance that probably leads to the area where I have to deliver, as it's usually located behind the store. So I put my left turn signal on and prepare to make a left turn. After making the turn, I come to a stop at a fence that's blocking me from going any further. Now, in some Family Dollar stores, the area where you have to make a delivery is protected by a fence. Some of them are automatic and will open if you stop in front of them, but if they're not automatic, the manager will come and open the fence if they know they're expecting a delivery. Sometimes they're a little late, so I wait 15 minutes and no one arrives yet. So I get out of the truck and I look around and I see a sign on the fence. It says police cars and employees of the local police department only. No trucks allowed. And of course I'm really confused because I'm like, well, how am I supposed to make a delivery if trucks aren't allowed in the area? That's clearly the area behind the Family Dollar store, and I know that this isn't one of the stores that you have to make a delivery in the front. So I checked the Google Maps and I realized something. This particular Family Dollar had 2 entrances. One over here for police cars only, and on this side, trucks and police cars were allowed. And the store was next door to a police station, and that was why this weird configuration was there. So I was on the wrong side of the store. I had to be over here to make the delivery. So I wait for the traffic lights to turn red on both sides of the intersection and quickly back into the street before they change green. While I don't like backing up onto streets like this was the only way to get out of here at the angle I was facing, and I couldn't turn around because there wasn't enough space. So I approached the correct entrance, and it looks like I'm going to have to back up to get to the I'm going to have to back up from the street to get to the location where I'm going to make the delivery. I actually had to do this on the first Family Dollar I made a delivery to, and I hated it because it was very difficult to back up on streets like this. The people behind you tend to not understand that you're planning on backing up, and then they just stop directly behind you and leave you no room to move. I did notice, however, that if you wait for the traffic lights in front and behind you to turn red, usually you can get to a certain angle where people will understand that you're backing up and they won't get too close behind you. So I waited for the lights to turn green and prepared to back up. Did I say green? I meant red. It would not be a good idea to back up while the lights are green. Anyway, while I'm backing up to the what looks like the door I have to make a delivery to, a police car shows up. The driver gets out, and then he asked me to roll down my window so he can talk to me. Then he says to me, "You do realize this is a police station, right? Trucks aren't supposed to be back here." And of course I'm confused because I'm like, well, how else am I supposed to make the delivery to the Family Dollar store? But because this was literally the only location where it was possible to get to the store. So I politely explained to him, "Hey, I'm just trying to make a delivery to the Family Dollar." Then, well, he seems like he understands, but he's still angry at me for some reason, so he just drives away. So, while I get the trailer basically at the right angle I need to back up to this door, I realize something. I am facing the wrong way. This is the wrong door. The door I'm supposed to be backing up to is on this side. So I have to pull back into the street, turn around, and start over, basically. Which obviously meant that I was going to have to be very late for this delivery. So, like I said, I don't have the best night vision. So I pull back into the street, go once around the block, and reset to enter this store at the right angle. And the right direction this time. So I put my left turn signal on and prepare to make a left turn again. As soon as I enter this location, I realize what little space I have to make this delivery. I need to get the trailer over here without hitting this building or any of these parked cars, because it's a very expensive fine for hitting a police car. And most tickets, they double the price of if you're a truck driver. Or even if you're in your regular car and you just happen to have a CDL, they double the price automatically. And most tickets are at least $1,500 for truck drivers. So, this was obviously something I did not want to have to do because I did not have $1,500 in my pocket right now. At this point, the sun starts to come up, so I have a little bit more visibility, thank goodness. And that helps me a lot in getting the truck at the right angle that I needed it. I managed to get the trailer at almost the right angle to make it to the door, but unfortunately, at this angle, you can't see behind you. You have no idea where the trailer is going. On your passenger side mirror, all you see is this, and on the driver's side mirror, all you see is this. So, to help me back up the remaining few feet, I got the manager, and I had him talk me into the location. Of course, first, before doing this, I explained to him how trucks turn. I explained to him that when backing up, the trailer turns the opposite way that I turn the steering wheel. So if you want me to move the trailer to the right, I need to turn the steering wheel to the left. And also, if I'm going backwards and you want me to straighten the truck with the trailer, I have to turn the steering wheel in the direction the trailer is facing. However, if you want me to straighten the truck with the trailer, while going forward, I have to turn the steering wheel in the opposite direction the trailer is facing. He nodded his head like he understood, and he got a few other co-workers to stand at certain angles to make sure that when he told me to go a certain way, I wouldn't end up hitting something else that he couldn't see. So they all seemed like they understood how the truck turned, and they started talking me into the space to get me in the right and facing the right way. After a while, the trailer ends up facing like this, pretty much close enough to the door, but I can't tell because from in here, all I can see is this on the passenger side mirror and this on the driver's side mirror. So the manager comes up to me and says, "Okay, you're right where we need you. We just need you to back up a couple more feet." And I say, "Okay, you want me to back up 2 more feet?" And he says, "Yes, exactly." And everyone else agrees with him as if basically as if they think that would be an okay thing to do as well. So I back up and I count 2 feet. After backing up exactly 2 feet though, I hear the horrible sound of glass shattering. So I stop and I look and I get out to see what happened. While the trailer was indeed close enough to the door, as the manager predicted, there was another issue on the driver's side of the vehicle. I had backed the trailer right into the outside light that was hanging off of the store. destroying it basically to a point where it was no longer usable. And then as soon as that happened, I heard someone go, "Oops," and then they said, "Pull up 2 more feet," and I'm like, okay. So I do that. So I ended up breaking the outside light. Interestingly enough, this is not one of the reasons why I was fired. They actually let this one slide.